All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Great Ace Attorney 2, sort of. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably have just watched Chapter 4, Part 1. Well, here's kind of a problem. I accidentally didn't have a local recording saved, and so I lost the footage. So I do not have the original footage of me solving the rest of Chapter 4. So I've completed the game at this point. However, I was like, well, I don't want to leave the series uncompleted. So what I'm gonna do is do more of a casual playthrough of the final parts. So I believe that will put us here. So I feel a little bit bad. I will try to... I'm probably not going to do much of... I have a kind of... I'm just going to go through a guide, basically. But, we shall see. It'll probably mean that the court trial goes a lot quicker. So this episode will probably be a lot shorter, and it's not like I'm a genius. I just know the answers already. Well, count to you, my dear fellow. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Gina? Heard about what you said in there. That the boss, actually died the day before. It's pretty hard to swallow. Yes, I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. As was I. Possibly more shocked than both of you. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. We're starting to together. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes, it's strange that there's no time of death noted. I suppose there's a simple explanation, or perhaps it was a deliberate omission. Oh dear. It was deliberate. What's me in mind of the last case on Dr. Sith? I know. I mean, it seems like that on the day before Lord Manzi discovered his body, Inspector Gregson was investigating the red-headed leaks. Perhaps something happened with them. Come to think of it. Trouble with those league men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You're taken in by the trick. No. Naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. But sleuth out interest was really peaked slightly. The rare set of a weekly £4 income. And the set masked the underlines of a deception, I suppose. The criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? And Mr. Sholmes tweeted at me. That's right, Suze. It was me what took him in. Thanks for step up by a good law-abiding citizen. Indeed, yours truly. With that, here in the witness stand, huh? It doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Grayson was found, you hadn't had any trouble with the Red Head League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them? Well, a clear explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuth hound interest was piqued by the rare set of a weekly £4 income. Don't tire him with the same brush as you, Sholmes. Yes, well, then there's the whole issue with Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Van Zieks for some reason. The Reaper, the Red Head League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Van Zieks, Kazuma. Feels as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow. Gosh, I think you're right. What's he really trying to achieve here today? Well, the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over shortly. Yes, you're right. I think you're right, Ryunosuke. I think you're right. You ready then, Miss Susato? Yes! Majesty the Queen hereby declare the court being in session again. We resume the closed trial here to Baron Van Zieks, accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Sogi. My lord, have you summoned the witnesses as requested? Yes, the two members of the Red Head League who plan to carry out the subject. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police care. Very good. Let's get them in here. Get them in here! These two men are currently being held in the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. If you omit your occupations, state your names. I am Fabien de Rousseau, descendant of the great Rousseau family from Nice and France. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. I am the third son of the greatest family in De Rossi, landowners from Napoli. Two men first became acquainted as a boarding school European nobility. Those who graduated from Thames and are the future leaders of Europe. But do you have any idea how boring it was with noble blood? Allows. I my mission to get the better as you would by employing a little bit of gray cells in my brain. That's all I'm trying to do. Oh yeah, I forgot I changed. There's an alternative costume that you can have that I have on, so enjoy. Wait, you could say that? Not bad, eh? He has a great ideals, but the petty plans. This strange combination is a charm of the hilarious brothers. Hey, Capo? Listen to me, Peppino. I've Grandy anecdotes. Firstly, I want you to stop calling me Z's Capo. And secondly, you're not the hilarious brothers. Z is serious business. Chibello, there it is. The Capo's trumpet card, the furrowed brow. It is deep, Capo, Pharaoh, and the meaning of your words. Court has been led to believe that under the banner of Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from the unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? Oui. Says Ka. So was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud. Lords, I'll explain it. No, Capo. Leave it to me. See, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At school, we were teased without pity. Capo here, he was many times behind the schoolhouse, crying like Trevi Fountain. Wheeze, those dogs, one day the wood was meant as redheads. Every night he would bury his head in his pillow and weep for the injustice. Says bien, but you know enough, I will explain the rest. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week, what is the plan? We gotta, yeah, about the... You saw that notice? Redhead League. Only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair. If that you satisfy the interview panel, you could really see a weekly income of £4. The date specified, redheaded hopefuls gather. Here's a present. This pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. And was your money to France? It was the most elegant. No, it was honorable, but to be frank, I'm stunned by the thing. I don't know. I wish I was one of this joke with Reddit. Trust me, that's not really that important. And the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day. I've seen more red-headed people one day than I have in the rest of my life. You see, I don't know. Every time I see the Capel's hair, I feel like sticking to my stomach. Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry? Date for our trial is not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither has been told any details about this trial. We've only been shown this photograph. Very good. Testimony to the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in the photograph. Not in the park. Nothing to do with us. What do you mean? Oh, dang. It's all Peppino's fault, huh? They didn't see Gregson? Oof. It really is all good. I forgot about that line. That is stupid. Yeah. Alright. So, what we're going to do is they had a lot of people on the street. They don't see the man in the photograph.
Hold it!
We're going to press this statement right here. What do you say? You spoke with 1,000 people. That's true. The eyes were burning. Really, they can't remember every single face. How are you so certain? The particular man wasn't present. The redhead is very distinctive, eh? Maybe 1,000 redheads growing on, then it's just an eyesore. There's some other information you could have given us. Maybe then we could recall. Not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure it was a bad, huh? This man was a red earpiece, but his mustache did not match the color, and I do not think I could have forgotten it. Let's talk about his profession. A detective? You found your nose in the paper. Suspicious and investigated incognito.
Okay?
Excuse me.
Uh-oh, Peppino knows! Gotta love Peppino for giving away everything. Shit, see, I'm always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper. What I mean is, do you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? Yeah, what did he just say about the detective? Yeah, it's that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already. But the white cable, what is the problem? There was a man who said, I am an inspector from Scotland Yard. What? Good lord. A man from Scotland Yard? Yeah, what in the world? A man who was at the park said to us that he was an inspector. There's no such man. Come on, Dad, what are you saying, Cable? Have you forgotten, eh? I've forgotten nothing. Nobody likes this game doesn't work. Pasta, keep it pasta. You beat to me out of anything. Not to. Memory and the meals. Eating the pasta, no one's faster. Inferior to me in every other way.
Objection.
Shut up. Yeah, objection. And I need some water. Erg. Damage is done. Indeed it is, sir. A man who was an inspector for Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. Someone else, I can't be so sure. Because to start with, his face was completely different. See, it's true. The man was a little younger. His face was clean shaven. His eyes were sadder. His chin was thinner. No resemblance whatsoever then. Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. You are really a detective, show us the proof. You see, the cable here, he doesn't take a no nonsense. He was well prepared. He had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector provided? As well as convincing. My lord? Counsel, no incognito inspector who offers identification. It's quite out of the question. Yeah, who would do that? A genius. You say no, they tell you it takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? You're very annoying. He said, you are under investigation. What? Yeah, they're coming. But I like them. Who could this possibly belong to? Let's look at this court record. You see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. Alright, whose do we got here? It definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Out of interest, what name is given? Probably just something plucked out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? The Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me, but how? Department identification number details are all correct as well. When have you known those? Do you mean to say? That seems incredible, but yes, I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. That's unbelievable. This is the real thing? How in the heck do we have his real identification card here? What the heck?
Hold it!
Yeah, you were caught carrying a plot of swindle people. Eh. You had to bring that up, eh? It's not fair. Hey, Capo. Oh,
Objection!
I did this wrong slightly. I was at the next thing. Miss Lestrade. I miss Lestrade. Your attention to your counsel. Is this really a fake or genuine? That's the question.
Objection!
We can't answer ourselves. Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective will allow his or her identification to be stolen. That is the boss's. No question about it. It can't be. As I suspected, the undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying on an incognito investigation. Zood allures. So Gregson was really there. But if the boss has that identification, he reported it straight away. I mean, he was always telling me about it. If you lose something, report it at once, he said. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it? Physically. Hey, what are you saying? Unable to. You're not suggesting. Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had a chance to report the identification. No. Oh, these two are in trouble. Whee! I know nothing. I dare nothing. I've done nothing. Lawyers are together, you know. One dude, you can behave a little more like a master criminal than that, eh? Whee! Now just return to Italia. Whee! Stop crying, Peppino, please. What was I? Oh my gosh. Leave me. Stop your wand. Start talking. I need to hear your story. I know nothing. Whee! I know nothing. Whee! You will tell everything. Or face the worst possible outcome. You will dry your eyes and testify again. About the identification and the precise circumstances. Ooh. Crying out loud. The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for us united our secret hideout. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day just in case. The identification prevented us to been the room next to ours. There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm, and the next morning we let him go. And that nice room was like a nice room. It was nothing like prison. This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man? But no, see, no. It was not like a prison. He was very comfortable and calm and happy. Hey, Capo. It was never part of my plan. I swear it. Oof, so you think it was my fault, eh? Just because I got this there, it was very wrong. But I wanted a little day. I don't think it was your fault, Peppino, I know it. I wouldn't know before, Capo, it's not the bear. You shall have plenty of time to call back at the prison, gentlemen. Oof, I don't believe this. How could it have been a real detective? Proceed with the cross-examination. On the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined at this pair's hideout. Yeah.
Hold it!
What do you mean by a little tussle exactly? Oh, both of it was nothing, just a minor incident. Also, expect to use the repeats of the work. Hey, Gable. What happened? Oof, it was a disaster. He gave him a nice room, and what does he do? In the middle of the night, he tried to escape through the ventilator. Can you blame him? We chased him, bien sir, and we caught him again. Can you blame us? Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your haste, did you? Is that what you think we are? Of course not. We caught all of him again and took him in the back.
Excuse me!
Mr. DeRossi, something wrong. Hey, me. I mean, Mr. DeRossi just seemed to make you, well, like you acted more strange than usual. Okay, well, at times like that, you don't want to have to give up, you believe me. Your personal experience. That's enough, Pipino. There's no need to say more. Truth is, the night before the raid, I was scared. I was not too far to give, but I tried to run away. Jimmy didn't manage it. Cable here, he came after like the third by it. He dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I still had the bruises to prove it. Hey, Cable? Bruises, you say? Hey, you want to see, eh? My testicle bruises. Enough now, Pipino. No one wants to look at any part of you. What do I do? I show you or I don't? I show you or I don't? You do, now! Let's go, Kazuma. Jeepers! Oh, Red Ring, what dragged you back in that? It's enough. Here's like nothing to do with what we're talking about. You have my word. And what's your opinion, Council? Oh, it's important.
Hold it!
Collar? A leather collar. You know, St. Bernard when you were younger, as a souvenir at that time, it was a very strong chain. Strong chain? And you put that around your friend's neck? Sorry, he was so angry that he was leaving me alone. You know, at the time the chain doesn't leg up the bed at all, huh? Don't try to run away again. You didn't do that in Twitter Gregson world, did you? Treat the people equal, huh? As the Cable here's motto, eh? It's starting to sound a lot more like a prison all of a sudden. The Cables are tough. The Cables are rough. I shouldn't have done it. So the following morning when you released the inspector, he had the red ring around his neck like me. He knows. Leave it now. Now you know, eh? The Cable, you're here, don't want to tingle with them. Oh, I had to present the oops.
Objection!
The report's body was covered. Gregson was taken prisoner working on. You know, no, it wasn't. Like I said, it was not a prison. An invitation to stay. It was only. However, you discovered there's one glaring inconsistency that remains. What inconsistency is this, Council? I will have to important to look closely at this photograph. Hey, there's no ring on his neck. That makes no sense. It was me who took the collar out the man in the morning, and I saw the red bruises, just like I have. The mark is so clearly visible on the witness's neck. We expect the bruising of the victim who was put on the gun more recently than Mr. Rossi. Indeed, this is most peculiar. What I tell you, huh? Is it this? From the beginning, many times. We, Pipino's right. The man in the photograph is someone different than the man we captured that night. It would appear then that on the day before the incident, the man who visited was the Cadena inspector. Was not a person at all. If that's true, however, then how do you explain the inspector's identification? This is a genuine identification book actually by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such a important item from the inspector. Prosecution made the assertion that's himself. The inspector had made a note about the Red League in the diary that day, which really means we can't divorce the two events completely. It's just so you know, but the event is troubling. If it were the real Inspector Garcia who said, gentlemen, testify about, there's no reason to confuse around the event is by the explanation, but equally if they were encountered, how did the person could be presented the real perspective of the identification? But the event has a plausible explanation, Council. The whole thing defies explanation. If it is for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes of the court record, Mr. Naruto, those are the facts, and the facts cannot lie. Facts can't lie, even when they point to something so incredible it's almost unbelievable. Credibility of the person who turned up at the park is proven by the original court record, I believe. Good gracious. Very to analyze it, Mr. Naruto. So why don't you help us all see whatever truth is that you apparently see? Who exactly was this inspector? An imposter. In other words, your whole argument up to now is a waste of time. Objection! On the contrary, I haven't finished. What? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed next is, who exactly was this man in the park on Lime Street found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's identification? You see, that's alright. We tell the same story every time. This man was the cable dragged him from a pole to a post with a dog on it. Buongiorno, Pepino. I was about to say, eh? He was a false inspector, eh? Who was he? Clearly, the defense has an idea about that. The Trinity demanded these two in person that night. Counsel for the defense, elaborate post haste. Who did the witness encounter in the park? Would you guys believe it? There's a little red ring.
Take that!
Gossip? One of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today. A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling hearsay to passers-by. On earth would a street seller be doing in the police inspector's identification papers? Witnesses, is this the man or not? What has happened to his lip? Huh? Is this a man who's not from the Red-Headed League, eh? He's looking at the Twisted Lip League, eh? No? Rather than make a rash claim, you should bite your lip instead. It seems improbable, yes, but the undeniable facts remain. During his testimony earlier, I noted something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising. Okay. What? Defense demands Mr. Costa be brought back to the stand. Bailiff, bring the aforementioned witness back into the courtroom immediately! Oh my gosh. Why never? An undeniable ring of bruising indeed. Identical. So, this is the stand. Now what's going on here, eh? I've always had this. It's a birthmark, isn't it? A birthmark, you say? I assume the reason you even recall this has been explained to you. Something about the inspector again. Telling you, you got it all wrong as usual. You're denying all knowledge of it. Of course I am. Are you trying to kill me with this nonsense, eh? Well, at least you'll have more stories to put back on the Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we're going to need you to testify again. And you, Mr. DeRosa, to Miss Rossi, I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you? Do you have any choice? You're in big trouble, eh, Capo? That's going up dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony. The man who claimed to be disrupted that day was definitely not this man. He's right, see, you think we would forget these grand lips, eh? And I believe Fresno Street, alright? I'm no interest in any red-headed league. I'm all alone in the world, me. I've got no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be called something like that? Look at me, eh? Doesn't look like I could get off a discount with a face like this. What have I telling you, eh? No need for this pointless testimony. That's right, I'm just a simple peddler. Remember the Fresno Street, all I know. How could I have to come by? Please inspect the vacation book, huh? That's hard to explain, but... brief cross-examination, I think, counsel. Very brief. Ugh. I stand steadfastly at your side always, Mr. Naruhodo. Let's go, Suzato. Counsel was like, oh, frick.
Hold it!
Don't get a name like Gods for nothing, eh? It's not business to know what's going on in town. So there's been a fair few redheads that came past me. Because I even got sandwich cough up for it. He doesn't very know that counts. Who knows? Either my own hair has got a hint of red in it. In any case, red was my patch. You won't catch me signing off to some other part of town. Don't turn out likely.
Excuse me!
Oh? Oh? Mr. De Rousseau. Oui, can I help you? Mr. Gosford just now lead you remember something relevant, perhaps. It was the other day when I was looking for a place near the park. I spot out or something. Be the headquarters of your Red-Headed League, yes? I was an agent on Lime Street, and there I saw him. This man was paying money to the agent. What? Mr. Gossip? With a housing agent? He had some kind of contract in his hand, and they were clearly discussing terms. But no, you're mistaken, chum. I know what Fresno Street means, like I said before. You're mistaken me for someone else. Well, the same face. No, Capo's right, I remember what to do. It was a man, the man with the banknotes. The notes? Like I said, that wasn't me. I was confronted the man with the dirty clothes and so much money. I looked at the name on the papers, And what was his name was written? Mr. Gossip? No, there's a man. He lies. He tells you that he has no name. But in fact, his name is Yuboon, eh? I think it's better Mr. Gossip than me. No! Other tidbits of information, like I said. I'm friends with you, and that's that. I don't like much folk talking about my personal life. Indeed, and it was not the intention of the court to invade the privacy of witnesses. Very much respect your wishes, sir. The aforementioned name shall be redacted from all.
Objection!
Oh, I'm objecting. I'm sorry, my lord, but the defense does object. Because the name just mentioned has a very deep significance to this case. Good gracious, do you simply... Happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings, but I never, in what capacity. Yuboon, the name, the leaseholder of the room. To put it this simply, the victim's body was discovered in your rented room. Just, sir, that you start talking. Alright. I suppose that might be the case, eh? Yuboon. Your real name is Yuboon. You notice I don't like to blow me own trumpet, but there's no found peddler tidbits in town. So I happen to be able to afford a group of the room in a falling down back street townhouse. You do. Once every 6 months, I go and pay the rent to the agent on Lime Street. I remember now. There were 2 vulgar redheads in there last time. Hey, maybe there was a vote. It's not to me. Take again, Bibino. Why didn't you bring this up before? Like I told you already. I don't like talking about my personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler as far as everything else is concerned. No fuss. Well, did your testimony include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Boone? I must. Unbelievable.
Objection!
Then why was this photograph in your room then? If you have no kinfolk, as you put it. Then explain why it is that among the sparse furnishings, you found this photograph in the room. I presume, as you've been renting the room, that this photograph belongs to you, does it not? Oh, well... Mr. Boone, drop the penance and tell the court exactly who you really are. I don't know what you mean. Well, peddler, I keep telling you so. You really don't need to bother with me. Please, just leave it alone. As the man says. Leave it alone. Whatever the truth is about this man's life is up here in this case. Simply not possible to impersonate Mr. Gregson. How could I be so sure? Just look at the man! No matter just because he ever had the unmissable features. But what if we were looking at this the other way around? What do you mean? Yes, counsel, what do you mean? Well, there's no denying that Mr. Boone's lip is very prominent indeed. Consider the possibility this prominent lip is itself a part of an elaborate disguise. To hide that prominent feature, in other words, revealing his true face, make an utterly impenetrable disguise. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Yuboon? Yeah, epic music. Let's go. Witness, are you still hiding the truth from this court? That's a disguise then. Underneath it is a true identity, must be. Yes, that's right. There's only one person that he could really be. My lord, defense please, you can reveal Mr. Boone's true identity to the court. No, please, no. You're holding, counsel.
Take that!
Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil, the guy we've been looking for because his wife is missing him. Yarg! I don't recall this name, counsel. Who is Mr. Vigil? It's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. A young gentlewoman came to the detective asking him to locate her missing husband. Woman in this photograph, in fact. This is Mrs. Vigil. What? From what I understand, you haven't returned home since the night before the inspector was found dead. But of course, on that night, you were being held captive by the 2 Red-Headed League men. And last night, you were put up by the prosecution service in preparation for testifying in this trial, because we've been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sandwich were all homeless. Simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. All we have to do is pull off that disguise. No, please. Bailiff, bring soap, a sponge, and a washbowl at once. Mr. DeRosa, Mr. DeRosa, you will restrain the witness. Oui, my lord. See, my lord. Ah! No! Stop! Get off, please! Don't! Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Well, we are now seeing your true features, I presume. Lift your head, sir, so that the court could see your face. It would appear that the defense counsel's assertion was entirely correct. This has all been a very elaborate deception. So, witnesses, tell the court. Have you seen this man before? I don't believe it, but... See, there's no question. This is the inspector we saw in the park. Extraordinary. On the day of the Red League enrollment, the man claiming to be Inspector Gregson who appeared before Mr. DeRosa and Mr. DeRosa in the park was you, disguised as the inspector, or rather, was you posing as the inspector in no disguise at all? Mr. Vigil was formally employed as the chief warder at Barclay Prison. Chief warder? Your career had promised. Why would you possibly have become the future governor of the prison? Where have you been peddling the title on Fresno Street? Well, for 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked in the prison. 10 years. I'm really dreadfully sorry about all this. Yes, it's true. I am Daily Vigil. You were the chief warder at Barclay Prison 10 years ago? So where did Mr. Hugh Boone come from? Boone is the other me. It's a name I invented. Well, evidently, there's a great deal under the surface here. I'll explain everything. So just how wretched my life has become. As you say, it was 10 years ago now that my employment at Barclay's chief work came to an end. Having left the prison service, I searched for some new occupation to which to earn a wage, but times were hard in London, and I found no suitable engagements at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand to selling wares around Fresno Street. Your wife appears to know nothing of this. She still maintains that you are the chief warder at Barclay Prison. I was utterly determined that my wife should not know of my failings. Well, I've never told her. I put an account at the bank under the name of Hugh Boone, and I rented the cheapest room I could find on Fresno Street. Scene of the very crime we're investigating. Yes, that's right. A place from which I could emerge every morning at 8 at the Squidlet Peddler, and transfer myself back every evening at 5 at a well-dressed man about town before returning home. It became my daily routine. I was puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room. That explains it. Why on earth did you just tell us this in the first place? I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons, and without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them. So instead you decided to conceal your occupation from them? Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything. Still, one thing doesn't add up. No matter how many tidbits of information you could sell the passing gentleman, even at 6 pence apiece, you couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as a chief warder at the prison. Very true. To have kept your family comfort despite 10 years of someone misbegotten employment? That was all thanks to Inspector Gregson. What? Inspector Gregson? What on earth? Some years after I'd invented Boone and begun my other life as a street seller, the inspector that is, recognized me one day. I mean to say, Victor was an acquaintance of yours? I knew him from my time working at the prison. When he saw what I'd become, he was deeply troubled for me and my family. From that day forward, he invited me on Fresno Street with increasing regularity. One day, he asked me if I would carry out a secret assignment for him. Secret? What was it? I was to impersonate the inspector. What? Impersonate him? We always met in that little room so the inspector could brief me. The door exchange tomorrow to take a statement from the proprietress. Or something along those lines. Surveillance work, interviewing people on those occasions. He would lend me his identification so people would believe who I was. My intentions were to make an impression, to let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work. For those services, he compensated me financially. Calling out an inspector willingly relinquished his identification into your care with intent to deceive. That, I'm sure I need not point out, is a very serious criminal offense. Why? What was the point of you impersonating him? I truly do not know. All I can say is that the inspector warned me on numerous occasions. Now remember, Vigil, I need your solemn word that you don't blab about this to anyone, alright? Ever. Even if, well, if I end up a croaker. In time, he started to bring papers with him to the room as well. Something of a second office for him. So in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park on Lime Street was really... Yes, it was me, acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I removed my boon disguise, and then went as instructed to the park, armed with the inspector's identification book. It never occurred to me that the bruise on my neck might give me away. Well, I think this confession completely destroys the defense's case. Explain yourself, Prosecutor Sogi. We learned in forensic search was as follows. The victim was killed at another location the day before his corpse was discovered. At the hands of those two red-headed league men when they imprisoned the inspector. But no, that can't be. After all, it wasn't the inspector who went to the park, it was me. Oh goodness. Finally, we have clarity. It was the murder of the inspector. And Mercy was did the defense for proving it. Arg! Order, order, order! Indeed, it appears we have some de facto conclusions from these witnesses are no involvement in the murder of the victim. There's someone around here by the defense. I call into the cross-examination.
Hold it!
Pardon me, my lord, but with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness. Kazuma? What question, counsel? Concerning the events of 10 years ago, I believe that you would have been present at a very significant execution was carried out at the time. 10 years ago? Execution of the professor Genshin Isogi. I want to know exactly what your involvement was. Oh. Answer me, man. For a moment, counsel. Related to the current case. Naturally. It is the prosecution's belief that this case and the events of 10 years ago are inextricably linked. Is the defense concur, counsel? Kazuma, you're not yourself. You're not as calm as collected as usual. For Kazuma-sama, no wonder he's acting this way. Mr. Richard knows what happened 10 years ago. Told the tale of Genshin Isogi's last moments. His own father. I know, I do understand that, but even so. Prosecutor Sogi, do you genuinely believe that this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death? I need you to trust me, please. Very well. The defense has no objection. I see. In that case, you answer the question, witness. Truth is, I remember very little of that time. Forgotten? Try to say yes. As I said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. The reason my memory of the events at the moment is hazy. Not sure you was strange, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry. Well, 10 years is a long time, but I've forgotten the reason why I left such an important job. Yes, you're right. Not only that, this was a contradiction we already know. Human spirit's a fragile thing, it's broken all too easily, which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection. Sorry? The human spirit? I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean. We experience pain and suffering that we feel unable to bear. Block it out, obliterate it from our memories, seal it away, but it never truly leaves us. If the seal is broken, the memories resurface, and when they do, that fragile spirit may finally be crushed. But I really don't. Cosmo-sama. It must be crushed, and so be it. Because the truth will not stay buried. It's coming out one way or the other. Right, now I understand what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth at any cost. As I point out the contradiction what Mr. Vigil claimed earlier, it might cause crucial members to return to push. Should I? Do it. No idea how this is gonna go, but this is a court of law, and I have the duty to pursue the truth. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to look at this. Evidence that clearly contradicts your version of events.
Take that!
Just a few moments ago, you made the following statement. I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. Well, yes. In other words, you claim to have left the post in chief warder of your own volition. Well, yes, of course. Why? Tell me. Do you remember seeing this document before? No, I don't. This is a dismissal notice ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment. A dismissal notice? The name on the notice is yours, Mr. Vigil. What? What? It's mine? You didn't resign from the prison service at all. For some reason, you were dismissed as chief warder from Barclay. No, there's some mistake, I'm sure. I tendered my resignation. This dismissal notice is nonsense. Isn't it? Oh, this music gives me chills. Your forcibly dismissed, there must have been a good reason. Clearly. You did something. Mr. Vigil, it's time to break the seal and have you remember. According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on the 17th of June, 10 years ago. On that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison. 17th of June. Was that the professor's execution? Professor. As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout the proceedings. It does sound familiar. And yet that execution never took place. The convict ostensibly executed earlier that day later re-emerged from his grave. The convict came back to life. In a cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness. However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave, gunshot rang out from over his shoulder. The bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly. Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Yes. Since you were charged with overseeing executions at the time, you must tell the truth about what really happened. It's in your head, somewhere deep down. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil, I know there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on 17th of June 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up. Mr. Vigil. Yes, the whole prison. It was complete chaos. Prisoner escaped. He was killed in the cemetery. Fucking he's ripped through Barclay like a hurricane. What? What? Order. You say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories at the time of return. My head, it's like some floodgates have been opened. The images and screams. Oh my goodness. The papers. The reports, articles about a man who'd seen a ghost. Yes, Enoch Drebber. Sure, those reports were exaggerated. There were traces of the scene. Traces of what? And Logate Cemetery at plot 139, blood, lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there. That's a conspiracy depravity from which this tale is emerging is quite staggering. Reviewed the police records from that time extensively. A thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. The conclusion reached by the investigation team was that a member of the prison staff must have been involved. Are you suggesting a prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom? Yes, and I was suspected of doing it, of using that mass murder's execution as a way to help him escape. He did what? I remember now. The horror of it's all coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the execution, some detectives get to the prison. Close the covers up at the top of the watchtower. Sorry, dude, this is serious business, but I cannot help you now. Chief Warder, you were responsible for overseeing the execution before, eh? It would seem the fellows at Scotland Yard want to have a few wee words with you about it. Here, pack your things, laddie. You're to attend in person. Just told me that my mind was completely blank, and the next thing I knew, Professor, the most hated killer in our country's history. I let him escape. I'm finished. My life is over. Bailiff, fetch a doctor at once. Nice job, Cosmo. You made him relive his suicide attempt. Great. That's real great. Court is adjourned.
So, with Mr. Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day. Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed ghost ship on a foggy ocean. Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Vigil, Cosmo, and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past. But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
Oh my gosh. Freaking insane. I still can't believe what just happened. I know, I inquired with the bailiff after the courses were adjourned. It seems Mr. Vigil was taken to the hospital to recover. Right. Vigil attempted to commit suicide, but to be able to go to the prison to cover his office, but ever since then, it's completely blocked the memories. I mean, it was a secret, not his family, not the man himself, but I forced it to the open. Was it wrong for me to do that? Did I ever set the mark, I wonder? Bruno. Oh, Iris. You're miles away. Anyway, I brewed a fresh pot of sweet tea for you. Oh, thank you. You and Susie have had an exhausting day so far, haven't you? Oh. Thank you, Iris. How thoughtful of you. Coming over Mr. Cholmes's, when we came to the quarterback, Ben's antechamber, he disappeared. Oh, no, I don't know. He just suddenly sprang to his feet and left, and he said, I must leave. Henry's pursuing the mystery of Inspector Gregson's death. Well, you know that Hurley's always saying, don't you? There are mysteries in this world that should perhaps never be solved. The construction of a solution comes only at the expense of the destruction of something else. What does that mean? He knows very well that when you open someone else's old wounds, you often open up your own too, but you just can't take his own advice to leave well alone. Some mysteries is too important to him. So true. I don't like about Hurley after all. It's a lot of the great detective in some ways. So then, let's have tea. I'll give you a hand. Oh, do you have time, Iris? Yes, I finished this much manuscript at last. We barely a day to spare before the deadline. Looking forward to it. A brand new story to read in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. You know, I always hide Hurley's Island in the days before I have a decline. You do? Or Mr. Sholmes? That's very wise, Iris. How sensible of you. None of that, my dear fellows. Let's make a plan of action before we continue our investigation. You don't know the truth, but what I want to increase, but Lord Magic definitely didn't do it. Oh, goody. Yes, that's right. We managed to uncover several new facts as well. Oh, really? And there's another development too. Yes, it's quite clear now. Kazuma-sama's not himself. He's acting almost as if he's possessed. No, I mean, at the end of the procedure, he was like a bloodhound chasing down Mr. Vigil. Yeah, what's going on with Kazuma? First, it was really murdered the day before his body was discovered. The Lord of Agis has to be innocent. Why the day before? Easy enough to work out just by explaining the court, examining the corpse, surely. Yeah, so you expect someone curious, no time of death, including the autopsy report. That is curious. There are unanswered questions about Lord Van Zeke still, aren't there? Do you mean, what was he doing at Fresno Street the day in the first place? According to the man's testimony, he said he was investigating Inspector Gregson, wasn't he? Turns out that little room was actually the Inspector's secret office. Oh, that sounds like it all has the makings of a wonderfully devilish plot. What was the notes board in there uncovering all those particular papers? Papers with the case of the link to the Reaper. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this. Oh dear, that sounds more like something horribly devilish. I must start by looking at Inspector Gregson's movements of late. I imagine it would have to be investigating Inspector's movements. According to the entry in his diary, he was carrying out an incognito investigation of the Red-Headed League of the day before his death. Oh, you mean the same as Hurley? Well, Mr. Jones was trying to apply, whereas the Inspector was supposed to be investigating. It should have been the other way around. Anyway, as it turns out, the Inspector who went to investigate the Red-Headed League that day was actually Gregson at all. It was Mr. Vigil in passion and possession of Gregson's identification. You know what that sounds like to me? Establishing an alibi. Oh my. Yes, you're absolutely right, Iris, but why would Gregson need an alibi? It appeared that the Inspector had something that he had to do with that he wanted to keep secret. I don't believe it. I always thought he was just a harmless lover of fish and chips. Perhaps he was seasoned with something a little more potent than salt and vinegar. And perhaps we should try to move away from food analogies. Well, anyway, Lord Van Zeke was felt the need to investigate Gregson. Yes, I agree. Let's try to find out what he knows. Did you say, is that the name of the lady again that visited Hurley yesterday? That's right. Ask Mr. Schultz if he would help her to find her missing husband. Only Mr. Schultz completely passed the buck to us. Actually, you see that Mr. Vigil had been taken to the hospital. Do you know which one? State Centers. I'm trying to wonder if all the other hospitals in London have closed. Amazing, Bruno. You found the lady's husband already. Well, I suppose I have by accident. 20 years ago, when Mr. Vigil was the chief warder of the prison, he was responsible for overseeing the professor's incarceration. No! When the convict escaped, he was so responsible and immediately dismissed. Ugh, I really don't want to grow up. There's more. For 10 years after that, his ostensibly working as a peddler, he was also at another secret shop. He was paid by Gregson to be a stand and to impersonate the Inspector. First at Gregson, but why? I have absolutely no idea. Ugh, Ginny was right. I'm trying to think all adults are up to no good now. Including you, Bruno. I haven't paid anyone to impersonate me. Means he has size of the professor to Inspector Gregson still, so I do think we got to pay a visit to Mr. Vigil, don't you? Bad Saint Sinners, then. It's clear what we need to do, isn't it? Let us investigate, my dear fellows. Iris, you're even more enthusiastic than usual today. If anyone has anything to hide, my special Wilson shooting iron will set them straight. That water pistol. It's a full of piping hot extra blood, special blood of mine. I'm quite sure it'll be very effective. I'd better be careful not to hide anything. Well, it feels a little strange, but the show nowhere to be seen, but so let's go and see what we can find out. Yes! Alright, first thing we're gonna go to the Chief Justice's office. No arguments, Process Security. So you will continue with the trial exactly as I instructed. Is that clear? Perfectly. It's Kazuma-sama to find Lord Stranaar. By the sound of it, he never want to back down. Find your way now, Sogi, my lord. Hi, Kazuma. Kazuma. Left without saying a word. Yes, what are you doing here? Oh, well, I was just hoping to ask you a few questions if you wouldn't mind. Well, Vanzig's trial concluded today. Prosecutors took his unwelcome inquiries are going to make it last longer than necessary. Unwelcome inquiries. This result moved even more precious time. Currently 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 41 seconds, 42, 43. Must resolve everything before 3 hours have passed, Mr. Naruhodo. And miraculous, not even 5 minutes. Anyway, I can't let the man's obvious bad book put me off. I need information. Professor Sogi, you believe that Lord Van Zieks is the Reaper? I wouldn't know. 10 years ago, in that fateful close trial, the Lord Van Zieks made his name from the judiciary. Next trial he fought, he lost. It meant the regulator of a criminal organization was acquitted thanks to all the judges that were the rest. It's awful. Man's freedom was short-lived. He lasted just for 3 days. Yes, let me see. Down in a rock slide at his place of work, I believe. Correct. In his inauguration of the Reaper of the Bailey. People believe Lord Van Zieks was responsible for the trial himself, but it was shown to have been an accident. So he must have had an alibi then. Nevertheless, the mysterious deaths continued. In total, 16 persons perished in unusual circumstances, ostensibly at the hand of the Reaper. That's a long run of coincidences. Well, the Reaper's true identity may well be revealed in this trial. The impact that revelation would have on the British public cannot be understood. Is that why it's a close trial? Precisely. Everyone hasn't seen a close trial for 10 years, so the last one was the professor's trial for Genshin Sogi. Correct. Actually, we heard that originally you were going to prosecute that trial yourself, Lord Strongheart. Lord Van Zieks entreated me to relinquish the prosecution to him, that he might avenge his brother's death. Here we are 10 years later. The son of the man Van Zieks had condemned now looking to avenge his brother's death the same way. You see what goes around comes around. However, it would seem that the new young prosecutor is harboring some ulterior motive as well. Kazuma, I like my organization to run smoothly in the exact manner that I prescribe. Yeah, with the giant clock in here, I won't tolerate a single copying out of some of the others. That's what those giant kids are here about. If the young man refuses to mention the other parts of the great machine, I will be forced to take steps. What? What do you mean? Not something with which you need to concern yourself. In any case, all your questions will be answered tomorrow. Huh. Now, I have to ask you to excuse me. As of this moment, I've been delayed from attending my next medical test 3 hours. Oh my, that is a long time. Well, you're entirely responsible, even though we miraculously managed to fit everything in not even 5 minutes. I wonder if you might agree to us talking with Prosecutor Sogi. Discussions between the defense and the prosecution that the corporate generally frown upon. However, I will make an exception to this case. I'll go. Find him in his office. Oh, thank you. Go see me at once, Mr. Naruhodo. Guy's my best friend in the world, but I'm really not so sure. I'll talk to him about all this. Alright, next stop, we are going to go to the prison. Van Zieks is reading. Look, he doesn't seem like he wants visitors, does he? He must have noticed over here, surely. What do you nippities want? That's no way to greet the lawyer who's trying as hard to prove your innocence, is it? Perhaps not. I apologize. So what can I do for you, Mr. Naruhodo? Lord Van Zieks speaking earnestly. I will lift over London for the first time in months tomorrow. It does feel very, very strange. I'll say I was impressed. Oh, well, thank you. Not by you, by your fellow Nipponese. Your prosecutor friend. Oh, I see, yes. It's sardonic, don't you think? A man such as me, so lowly to the Nipponese, be entirely at the mercy of the two of you. I suppose. It's retribution for playing the part of the Reaper all these years. Play the part. You want somebody that you gladly allow people to believe you were the Reaper because it helped reduce the amount of serious crime that took place in London. Keep me quiet playing the part for benefits a cause I myself am committed to pursuing. How about you to say anything? Mention of a criminal killed by the Reaper attacked you only the other day, and was just the most recent of many attempts in your life, wasn't it? I'm clearly profiting from your silence about all that someone is using you. Believe me, ever since the Reaper first appeared, I've been doing my utmost to expose him, or rather expose the organization. A whole organization? It's inconceivable that all these accidents were orchestrated by one man. No, the Reaper always appears to have very accurate information about the accused in each case. It can only mean somebody at Scotland Yard is involved. Someone at you can't mean. It's taken me many years, but I finally identified the central figure of this Reaper organization. Tobias Gregson. Wow. No! Gregson's the Reaper? No way. The reason you investigated Inspector Gregson is because you intended to expose him as the Reaper? As I said, the Reaper of the Bailey is no single person. It's a highly secret organization with close ties to Scotland Yard. There's no doubt that Gregson was a key member of that organization. I don't believe it. Are you saying that he was behind all those awful criminals? Meaning Gregson didn't do the dirty work himself. Oh? He was a tactician. His job was to covertly investigate the marks and plot their assassinations. Prior to that, without arousing suspicion, he regularly needed a firm alibi, which is why Mr. Vigil came in. Wasn't as the inspector. Should knows nothing of the Reaper. The room he rented for the was almost certainly the headquarters of the operation. Gregson would have met the assassin there for briefings. I don't actually know who carried out the killings then. Actually, I do have a name. You what? Well, if you could name the man, you must have the trade identity of the Reaper already. Or I can name the woman. Oh? She's a young woman by the name of Asa Shin. Wait, what? Shin? Miss Asa Shin. The true name of a terrifying killer I know only too well. Came to Japan was a business student. Murdered Dr. Johnny Gordon. Like diplomatic protection would help Japan in conviction. Here's one with somewhere in a small summer beach hut. That woman was actually the Reaper of the Bailey? There's an Naruto. That's right, this is the place to discuss. No, of course not. We can't mention it here. The fact that she killed Dr. Johnny Wilson. So I also didn't know it's really likely that man was her father. Sashin, I should let father know at once. Yes, I agree. Cosmo isn't Cosmo Sogi. You say he's a friend of yours, my best friend. He's the whole reason I came to Britain, and it was on his merits. I have nothing but respect for him. Yes, I understand that only the very best students are selected for such opportunities, and I had to find out how sharp he is in the procedure earlier today. He missed nothing. I just thought for very much reminded me of his father, Genshin Sogi, the professor. It's true that the aristocracy at the time was the root of numerous grave societal problems, but they were abusing their power. They were abusing their power, playing with the common man as cause of the blocks, economics, and war. Anyways, Asogi was carving out a canker from the society that we British couldn't deal with ourselves. I see. That's precisely why it makes no sense. Clint Van Zieks was a noble and upstanding man. He wasn't corrupt. Why did that damn Nibonese have to go take my brother's life? But having once saved mine. He saved your life? How did this happen? 10 years ago on a foggy night, what was to be the professor's final strike had some wave of panic through the capital, so Clint Van Zieks had already been killed at this point then. Ketch and I were walking down some back streets at a late hour. Of course, at that point, I had no idea the true nature of the man at my side. All of a sudden... Don't make a peep. You're coming with us. We're surrounded. All of our assailants were armed with pistols. Faces obscured by scarves. Clint was not only from noble heritage, he was a brilliant prosecutor as well. People in London hated the sight of him, and they had no sympathy for his younger brother either. I've been targeted several times before already. Yeah, it's Van Zieks, alright, we got him. They didn't hurt me throughout this, so they were after me, but just when I thought the time had come, I let them kill you, Clint would never forgive me. Soki's voice just a whisper in my ear. But then I don't remember exactly what happened. I knew there was silence all around. Genshin lay on the cobbled street. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He shielded me. 2 days later, they arrested him on suspicion of being London's most notorious mass murderer ever, the Professor. How awful for you. All at once, I lost a brother I revered in the foreign friend I had held in such high regard. So sorry, Lord Van Zieks. Wow. That's the end of the miserable tale. I never thought I'd ever counted anyone. Well, thank you for confiding in me. Professor, the Reaper, the Inspector Gregson. I wonder just how intimately related they all are. I still can't quite believe that Gregson was essentially the Reaper. Get assassination or was Giselle Brett? Sure, let's go and inform my father. I'm sure our government wanted to hear about this new information. Oh, that means I get to go meet your daddy, Susie. Hooray! Yes, alright. Go back to the Great Waterloo Hotel then. Next stop, Great Waterloo. That was yesterday, and I'm thinking again today. This place is princely. Well, I guess I have a feeling you'll think the same tomorrow too. Ideas, finer fragrance than whatever they're serving in the tea room here, though, wouldn't you say? Look who we have here. This is an unexpected pleasure. Oh, father! Oh, is this your daddy, Susie? How lovely. What a charming young lady. And you are? Really, you're the author of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, are you? That's me, Iris Wilson, at your service, sir. She's been such a wonderful friend to me over the last year, you know. Well, Miss Wilson, I must say I read your work regularly and with much interest. I was actually living with Mr. Solmes, you know, Father. Is that so? Well, perhaps that goes some way to explaining that bright look in your eyes. Hee hee. Maybe smiles at early if you knew just how bright she is, believe me. Now then, Mr. Young Naruto, it's a pleasure seeing you in action earlier. I was an invite to see the supposed events allowed to observe the gallery after I twisted some arms, and I must say it was truly exemplary performance. Oh, well, thank you very much. Oh, I'm fairly sure you admitted by Cosmo on the end there. No, please don't misunderstand. It was you who impressed me, really? Yeah, Mr. Steppenget's so okay. We all know how capable he is, really. The maturity to find a defense lawyer in less than a year is quite extraordinary. It's kind of you to say so. Really nice to hear. My son court today confirmed what I've been hoping for. Favorite I mentioned yesterday, Mr. Naruto? I trust you haven't forgotten. Oh, no, you mentioned something, didn't you? First, we have something to report, Father. Of course, of course. So back to you while we discuss matters further. I wonder where Jochi Goku has got to. Father, do you know about the so-called Reaper of the Bailey? I've heard rumors. Some members of the judiciary explained it to me yesterday. Of course, when I was visiting a student here in London, the Reaper was yet to emerge. Yeah, he didn't appear until after this case. Well, Van Zieks was in the docket today. That was Barrick, the younger brother of Clint Van Zieks, I believe. That's right. And he's known throughout London as the Reaper, as you've heard, but the truth is, it wasn't him behind all the pursuits, it was somebody else. I see. What you're saying is there's been a professional killer at work here. Exactly, someone by the name of Asa Shin, in fact. I beg your pardon. Did you say Asa Shin? You mean the Giselle Brett woman who's responsible for killing my great friend? Oh no, a friend of yours was killed? Ah, I'm Professor Mikotoba. I think perhaps we shouldn't discuss this right now. Professor's talking about it. Dr. It's not something we want ours in front of. Not like this, anyway. Ah, I've just remembered something. Biscuits. This hotel has the most looking biscuits. That was rather out of the blue. He's doing this deliberately. I think I'll go see if I can purchase some. I wonder. Would you like to come to, Iris? Oh, yes. You just try to leave me behind. That young girl. It's called Iris Wilson, is she? Yes, that's right. She's the author of all those adventure stories starring the great Detective Sholmes. Name of the credit author is an Iris, isn't it? It's Dr. John H. Wilson. Yes, I know. That's the name of her father, you see. Her father? That's John H. Wilson. I was deeply indebted to the man for all the kindness he showed me during my time in London. That's why I was keen to reciprocate and invite him to the Imperial University 4 years ago. He was murdered last year by Giselle Brett. Why? Why would the Hand of Reaper search all the way to Japan? Iris was nothing about that case, but it seems very likely that Dr. Wilson was her father. Well, I can't say that we ever spoke about his family, so I don't know if he had a daughter or not. I can consider some certainty that he was never the great detective's partner. Could have been another Dr. Wilson, you think? Well, John and Wilson are both common names after all. Probably best not to mention this to the young lady until we can be sure. That's what we thought, yes. We're back with cinnamon biscuits. Ooh, cinnamon biscuits. That does sound good. Where's Jigoku? I want to see Judge Jigoku. Have you? Guilty. Ha ha ha. Guilty is still ringing in my ears. No, you mentioned I haven't seen him since this morning either. I suppose since his opening has been proposed, he'll have gone to explore the Great Exhibition. That reminds me of something you mentioned yesterday. Which I can go back and watch the doc himself. Ah, yeah, it was that cursed trial, the close trial conference. This year was trying to mitigate Gadget's guilt. He took to the stand to testify, but he got a little carried away and broke the witness stand. Oh my. I also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire for which he was charged. Oh dear, although it's really not easy to imagine him doing that. Well, it was alright in the end. He was acquitted and has returned to Japan together. Thank goodness. Nagita Seshiro. I have a copy of the photograph I took yesterday here. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Oh, I like that photograph. No, was anyone else coming when we took that, did we? No, that's so true. Ooh, a lot of screen time. Well, this fateful trial that you're fighting, one way or another, it will be a tough one. When is it likely to come to me back to Japan? What am I gonna do? What? Father, what's the meaning of this? Not since I you should understand. You've seen how our courts work firsthand. Japan's judicial system is in its infancy, especially when it comes to defense. Oh, you mean the Supreme Court adjudicated action to death of a good defense lawyer as soon as possible. Really quite urgently, in fact, but I've not been elected in a year yet. I've read all Susan's reports of well, very extraordinary talents. I've been seeing you in action with my own eyes earlier today, and there is no question. You, Naruhodo, are precisely the man our country needs. Holy crap. Are we leaving then, Runo? But then what am I supposed to do, Father? You came here to serve as the Soge's judicial assistant. Oh yeah, you're supposed to be the Cosma. Our government is still in the process of deciding how to deal with this situation, though. Well, it shows in your own passage, Otto, and I trust your judgment in this matter also. Father! Please, a pair of you, don't look so downcast. It's merely a suggestion to you, and a hope if I'm honest, and I won't force you. I'll ask you to consider it, come to a decision by the time this trial concludes. Alright, go back to Japan. You won't leave, will you, Runo? I didn't even cross my mind up until now. I've been trying to do what I believe him to be causing as well. It turns out he's still alive, so where does that leave me? Yes. Go telegraph. Yeah, come over to Baker Street. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would be delighted. Best of luck tomorrow, Naruhodo. And give my suggestions your full consideration, won't you? I will. Going back home. Cosmo-san has always been a great deal of my father. Really loved the chance to meet with him and talk to him about all this. Yes, no doubt. Assassin. Of course, it's so obvious. How can I look like to consider that a possibility before now? Mr. Sholmes? Hey, where have you been? I joined you all for tea, of course. What an extraordinary question. I didn't notice you at all. No matters, no matter. Wait, a more pressing concern. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes? I must dispatch a telegram to your country at once. It's a matter of much urgency. Japan, you mean? Tell me, to whom can I trust to pass? Quickly, now who? Well... My father has just left now to send a telegram to the Imperial Police Bureau to Japan himself. I see. Well, you look reliable enough for a bearded fellow. I don't think my father's sports can be considered a beard, Mr. Sholmes. Not one to lose. Ask your trusty unstable father to see this assent. I will, but what is it? No questions at the time, if you please, Mr. Zato. All we can do is pray. But for once, my deduction is awry. Isn't that a play that your deductions are normally correct, Mr. Sholmes, which isn't exactly. Now then, maybe you're surprised to learn that I'm a very busy man. I surely have no time to hide behind settees and eavesdrop on other people's conversations. No, that's what joining us for tea meant. I'm listening to this in your hands, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes just ran off, didn't he? Quite a pace. With the unpaid bill for his tea behind, too. Of course. I must get up with father at the telegraph office. At once. I'll run and call us a cab. Straight away. There is me thinking that everyone would be clamoring to pay Mr. Sholmes' bill. Alright, let's go visit Mr. Vigil. This is the war where Mr. Vigil has been brought, apparently. You're Frank, I'm really worried about seeing him again. Ah, the lawyer. Hello again. Are you feeling better now, Mr. Vigil? Yes, thank you. Somewhat better. I'm so sorry to have caused you to. I mean, it was because of me. If I had exposed your secret and forced you to remember things you obviously tried to forget. The prosecutor was here until a few moments ago, too. You just missed him. Oh, Cosmo beat us to it. He said much the same as you. He was very apologetic. But the truth is, I brought all this upon myself. Please, don't think like that. Even if from Evie, my wife, all those years of care and such a guilt. I thought it was very overtime. I came to see myself as well. By your dismissal? Looking back now? You didn't think that perhaps Inspector Gregson did simple cross me by accident at all. I mean, he compensated me so generously for acting as a stand-in. Really concerned for my well-being and doing what he could to help. Perhaps Gregson knew exactly what became to Mr. Vigil all along then. After just as there was 10 years to lie to deception, but it wasn't me that helped the commissioner escape 10 years ago. It wasn't me. I swear it's true. Mr. Vigil. You'd rather not dredge up even more of your past this time, but if possible, could you tell us exactly what really happened? I want to. I need to get all this off my chest. I want to tell someone what I should have done. Gregson was obviously engaged in a special operation. He was investigating something that even Scotland Yard couldn't know about. The Reaper's marks. When he had the careless investigations, he would take his identification to impersonate him. He pretended to be the inspector carry out the investigation on his behalf. Although never a common street peddler could possibly carry out a proper police investigation. He was to go to a specified location and make a little hoo-ha. Leave an impression so everyone would think, oh, Detective Cook Gregson was here. Park on Lime Street for Head League event. I flashed Inspector's identification. I was very full presence. Oh, being a prisoner? So you would always make a point of showing Greg's identification generally being loud. The Inspector asked me to do, yes. One way to become a legendary detective, I suppose not a good one though. This bruising happened. They released him. We arranged to meet at Fresno Street at 5, so I could report to the inspector, but at the agreed time, that's when I heard the gunshot. Midnight, 17th of July. Time was scheduled for the execution. The execution never took place. Rather, the execution was supposed to be used as a plan of escape. What a chilling plan it was. Barclay was renowned for being the highest security prison in the country. Everything that went on and out of that place was stripped multiple times. There's one notable exception, or rather, one notable loophole, something that was never questioned. That loophole, the coffins into which the bodies were executed. Yes. Coroner had confirmed the death of the condemned victim. The body was taken into a coffin for immediate burial by low gates of nearest by the prison. Chief Warden referred to the send necessary papers. After that, no member of the 7 provisions of the coffin contained the body again. Execution took place. Only the executioner and the coroner said the chamber. I went away in the adjacent room for word that the condemned convict was dead. On occasion, once I got confirmation, I went into the mortuary to find a lone coffin as usual. The truth was that I would sign the paperwork and check the coffin, and then nail it shut. For some reason that day, the coffin was already nailed shut. No. I think any of it at the time, I assumed that my deputy must have checked the coffin and the other ship before I arrived. I mean, the coffin contained... Yes, I can only imagine Sogi having escaped his execution if it was alive inside the coffin. I was taken down through the main gates and this positive locate seminary. Presumably there would have been enough air inside to free for launch. For the yards following the barrier, someone dug up the coffin to catch it free. In the end, fatally shot in the graveyard anyway. What on earth would they happen to locate cemetery that night, I wonder? I'm afraid I really don't know. All I can say with certainty are two things. Sogi could possibly escape that way without help from somebody working in the prison. Somebody was not me. You knew the man, the professor, I mean. Get you, Sogi? Yes, I remember him well, in fact. Would you mind telling us what you know? Being condemned to death as he was, any contact was short, obviously, after that trial, which was carried out behind closed doors. Sorry, my voice is getting tired. I might just stop talking. Jeez. Noble character and resilience. Gentleman and a man of intellect, man. I'm guilty of the unforgivable crime of ending another human life, yes. Unusual. Last will and testament. Sheet of paper. Yeah, what's so unusual about that? Special conditions. Personal effects with them, with one exception. Oh, yeah, he got to keep his stuff, of course. He convicted for killing 500 aristocracy, but at the same time, he was a guest in our country from Japan. However, we were determined that his foundation would be needlessly uncomfortable. He wasn't permitted to have writing materials, specifically no pen or paper. He couldn't leave written record. Huh. A will be a weapon. What would that mean? Banish? That will must be very important. He knew about the will's existence. Yosogi papers. Interesting. Yeah, go be with your wife. Arrested for a crime. Well, you did commit a crime. Before you go, there's one more thing. Yes? What is it? Yosogi papers. I'd be very grateful if you make no mention of the things I told you about them. Is that for good reason? It's my understanding that their existence is a closely guarded secret. I give know that I remembered. Well, you're rather troublesome, I think. Ooh. Oh dear. That is quite troubling. A plan to escape. Yeah, we gotta talk to Kaiden. Let's go. Back again, are you? Forgot about the handcuff biscuits. And also, cigarettes have to now not to do with things in the past. Leave the past, Lottie. Don't fool around with irrelevant details. Pressures change completely. Well, we're on to something, all right. Murderous botched execution, the whole miserable escape. Barclay's darkest hour, a shocking embarrassment because the company had a collaborator on the prison staff, you mean? Aye, for shame. Coroner who confirmed the death, Courtney Sith, my chief wartime vigil, who is in charge of the whole affair. Vigil says he doesn't know anything about it. Rascal wins the otherwise, more handcuffs. Oh, okay, I see. No, you can never have too much iron in your diet. Vigil. Let's go, Iris. At least Iris will be good on iron. Maria Gori. Ah, it's his daughter? Oh, snap. We know her. turning gory. Ah, so she did Gregson's autopsy. I'm not happy about any part of this. It took years for learners to finally forget the whole professor business. You know, give it up to this lady. Stop asking pointless questions. I'm sorry, I don't like judging these painful memories for everyone. You know, just stay away, no? Leave me alone, did not come back here. I'm dumb again about that lad. There's no many folk in this prison who've heard of those papers. Ah, well. I'm afraid our sources must remain confidential, sir. We'd love to believe the papers are actually the last one testament. Is that right? The professors, or rather Genshin Sogi's? That's right, you're well informed, Jimmy. Okay. Man, how the neighbors know. You're off there. You're off there. They're in the cell, exactly where it should have been. Oh, that's not right. We don't know where the papers are. What? Oh, well, we found the papers. That's it. That's easy. Huh. Papers have nothing to do with Gregson's death. Order from the government, not to keep that a secret. The only paper we have left, huh? Sama is doing so well for himself. Getting warm. I'm gonna... I was right about what I said, wasn't I? Sorry. You have all the markings of a great defense lawyer. Aww. Ryunosuke, I always thought it would be fun for you and I to shake up the British legal system a little together. This isn't quite how I envisaged it, but I suppose it's just another twist of fate. I learned a lot of things during my time in London about House of Odyssey. I thought I was a business student, Judge Yoku, and what happened with your father. Now, no difficulty understanding why I had no choice, why I had to find a way to get to Britain as a business student myself. I want to hear from you, Cosma. As you wish, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yes, it's Buria. Oh dear. Well, that's convenient. Well, you got to Hong Kong to Britain with amnesia. That's pretty wild. Yep, that helps. Oh, snap. Knowledge of the law. Interesting. Amazing. Aww. Unswerving sense of justice. Oh. Wow. Wow. Who would have sent that? What the heck? That's kind of dumb. Yeesh. Judge Gigoku. Gigoku was shook. Wow. It's pretty wild. You know this. Your resentment towards Lord Banzeeks is very high. Yeah, there's no time of death. Yeah. Oh. Yes, we would. Really? That last line said it was robbed of his life. Sorry, I skipped that. For you, Inosuke, I want to thank you. What for? For this. You safeguarded the soul of the Soki clan. It is a famous sword that's been in your family for generations. Though I said regret that I never got the chance to draw before I returned it to you. Karama is said to have been forged by a master swordsmith during the Sengoku Warring State period. I come from a long lineage of warriors, many of whom are expert swordsmen. Well then, we ship out with the old block, I'd say. This blade Karama is a symbol of the Soki clan's honor and might. Apparently, one of my father's apprentices even took the blade's name as his surname. Really, Karama. Sounds formidable, that's for sure. 16 years ago, my father was a visiting student here in London. He had the sword forever at his side. So it means so much to me to have it by my side again now, too. And that is all thanks to you. It was an honor. Aww, the camaraderie. Yes, preparations to be done. Yeah, you've changed. No, Ryunosuke, I haven't changed at all. It's you who's changed. Dang, let's go. Get the truth out of here. Like out into the open, I mean, not like out of here, like leave it behind, like. No, I did not try to push that. I fat fingered a button. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Roses? Probably. What is that sound? Dr. Gory? What? I know before. I was sharpening my tools. I'd be dead meat if I didn't keep brutally clean edge on them. Following the calling of fibers of the dermis, next really sharp and scribble cuts like cheese. Like a demonstration. Oh, yes, please. I'd love to see. then I think you'll do nicely. Huh? No, no, I won't do nicely at all. Papers. Hey, can you explain this autopsy report? He was very good. Good, sorry. His skin didn't stab my blade once and very little mess. His joints dislocated easily and his muscle tissue was a pleasure. Yeah, what's the time of death? That's not my fault. Oh, okay. Please, tell us what happened. Why doesn't the doctor report include the victim's time of death? It's really the most crucial detail. I was told not to write it. What? By whom? Male Strongheart. The heck, Strongheart? Or Strong came, he said from the witness statements with the guns and the other evidence, it was obvious. And clear dead 5 p.m. on November 1st when the gunshot was heard. That's not the time of death you wrote on the report. You didn't even write anything. Was there some reason you didn't include it? Dr. Corey, your Highness is under Lord Strongheart's instructions. And sooner or later, you're going to go the same way as your mother. Give it here then. There. You've written... Well, what's she written? Tell us. Indeterminate. But... Indeterminate? What does that mean? As Miss brought in, it was still fresh. I mean, death could easily have coincided with when the gunshot was heard. But there was one small discrepancy. What discrepancy? There was some fried fish in the pocket of the specimen's overcoat. And that fish had started to rot. The victim liked fried fish. She presumably liked to eat it before it went off. Yes? What are you trying to say? Also, someone tried to manipulate the apparent time of death. Manipulate them. Is that even possible to do? Theoretically, if you were to chill the body in ice, you could delay the onset of putrefaction. The overcoat wasn't on the body at the time, then only the fish would have started to rot. But today's science is not yet possible to determine if the body was chilled or not. Today's science has advanced to let you freeze a corpse, it seems. Chill a corpse would be an enormous like a refrigerator. I don't imagine many houses letting their cope such a device. No, definitely not. Factory? I don't see fractures like that on Fresno Street. I wonder. Did they switch his body been chilled? What about the actual time of death have been? Couldn't say for sure. Might have been a day earlier. No. Corroborate your previous deduction, Mr. Naruto. Mr. was killed the day before his body at a different location. Inform Law Charter of this possibility. They said that there were no electric refrigerators of that size in the vicinity. Professor. Yes, yes, please, tell us. That's not all Mama did, sorry. My mama carried out the autopsy of Queen Manchix as well. What? The idea of carrying out an autopsy on a member of the aristocracy was completely unthinkable. The detective in charge of the investigation insisted it was practically authorized. Detective being Gregson. The autopsy provided the vital clue needed to arrest the killer. I was there for that historic event. What does all this mean? Now, that amazing autopsy happened right here in the studio of the professor and Cliff Van Zeeks. Goes with the problem also for the burial on the section table there. This lab was an instrument. Wow, a really historical spot. Yeah, can you tell us more? Oh, man. Man. The prison governor had to have been on it. Who's really behind this jailbreak? The autopsy of Clint Van Zeeks. John H. Wilson? Oh. Your father, Eugene, was a part of this? Records? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. They're not here? There must be. Someone stole the autopsy report? A few years ago, a consulting detective? Sherlock Sholmes? Sholmes stole the record? Iris? 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 What are you hiding? Bruno? Hope you don't mind, but... What is it, Iris? I just remember what I have to do. What? What? Okay. What do you mean, no need? Yeah, she stole it. Bet. Iris? Jeepers. You are too obsessed with dissecting live people. Oh, Clint Van Zeek's records disappear. That's really sus. Alright, we got a couple more places we need to visit. Mainly this. Yeah, where's Gina? Something different? What could it possibly be? Yeah, look at this trunk. TG? Boy, what you think you're doing? That's my trunk. Hands off. Gina. Where are you hiding? Oh, don't leave. I'll tell him for a few seconds. There, Tom, Dick, and Harry's got green eyes on it. Is it fair to say you're only on this truck with the corner straw? What are you trying to say? Come on, this truck goes with me everywhere. Always has. Where have you been the last year? Gonna clear your wrath. Gina. notebook. Crimes about the Reaper's work? What the heck? You found it? Nice. Wow. Of course you snuck a peek. What did it say? What did it say? Dates, times, places, names. Dang. No, there couldn't. Positive is not gonna help you this time. Nope. I don't think so. Man, that was a bit odd at the end of the list, you mean? October 31st, day before the inspector was found dead? Not an English name. Shin was in the notebook? Oh, Gregson. Gregson. You're investigating. Yeah, so where did Gregson go? Hey, Toby! Alright, let's get this hellhound on the job. Oh, so cute. Oh dear. That's right. Yeah, I think we do.
Take that!
Oh my gosh. In other words, that trunk is Gregson's. Gina. Alright, it's for a cop, I suppose. You got away with it too. Oh, it's like a problem of cheese and switch to his nose, but what you can achieve. Not crossing my name, I identify something that was right next to us. Yeah, a bit of a bloomer, weren't it? Gina, we gotta look at this. Yeah, tell us the truth about the trunk. Sandwich. You can't. Sandwich, come on. Nice. Well, I will. You guys have to wait till next time to look at more with the trunk. What you on about? On, please, Gina. If you wouldn't mind, can we examine it? Yeah, all right then. Do what you want. Thank you. Yeah, what the heck? Ah! We're dead. We died. Lick his face off. Oh no, are you dead? Oh dear. The licking. Bandage. Oh, well, that works. What's that? Iris? Wait, what?
Den Schlund es mir verbrannt. Ach, Hopfen.
What is this? A German folk song.
Mit dem Knacker ich befahl, hat wie
Iris?
Diamant den
She's not talking to us.
Es brach, o über deine Wut. Herr, den sei holdlich gelobt, und auf den ersten Streich alle Seiten des Teris.
Oh, I think I know what time it is. All right, let's get it. I'm gonna skip this mostly until I get to the parts where I deal with stuff. Don't worry, when we go back through again, I'll actually show off the text. The King of Germany? That's who that is? Amazing. What is this? Oh no. Your coffee cup. Oh, poor Sean. Poor Sholmes.
Mit dem Schwarzbiergebot, Bodend Wien, Feuerberg, den Schlund es mir verbrannt,
Mr. Sholmes.
Hopfen
That troubles me.
deine Wut,
Royal Highness.
her mit dem
Doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived. Ah, and you haven't said a word either, Iris. Someone says it alright, you might as well own up to it now. Another grievance, Mr. Arnold. Surely not. Well, I actually read the story of the case. This is the one you were describing. According to that, at least it wasn't the king of Germany, it was the king of Bohemia. Goodness, was it? Yeah, it's true. Mr. Gott's prince testified to that in court. I come to see great exhibition from home in Bohemia. Keep the matter to yourselves. It can become quite a scandal. We need to help him out. Yeah, let's go. The truth. Favorite coffee cups no more. Poor Sholmes. Let's get it. Oh crap. Why is this man here? Iris is clearly known to you. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of that bright eyes and remember the particular aspect of this mystery. Reason for the man's mildly irritating war mystery was this herbal tea. Some mix of herbs that gives you the urge to sing. Goodness, I would like to try some. I'd like to hear you singing, but this man, just so long as you tend to keep up this tune, do you suppose? It's been in stock so the entire time. If you look closely, his lips aren't moving either. Ah, so I'm not sure what's actually showing the spirit of singing. The answer does lie at the end of your eyes' gaze.
Take that!
I think this gramophone reveals why he is singing. Here's what the man's mildly irritating warblings reveal with the gramophone. Indeed, for no other we forget to obscure folks so that make it a social call. In other words, this gentleman isn't singing at all. In fact, here that fellow's unconscious. Music has stopped now. Ask you, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? How would I purchase a recording of that gibberish? How should I know? Oh, never mind. Out of the detection. Who exactly is the gentleman veiling himself to be the settee? This happened a number of years ago now. A certain gentleman of German origin engaged my services in a particularly delicate case. For the retrieval of letters once sent to an acquaintance, that might have proved problematic. Or to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office in a mask. His name was Wilhelm Gottschalk Siegmund von Ormstein, King of Germany. Asked my brother gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question this man belongs to the King of Germany. Alright, so it's actually the King of Bohemia. It seems to persist with the German theory for some reason. I think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, wasn't he? Master Gods? The man who he had in tears don't remind me, or anyone else. Those are all the members of the mainland who wear masks. I'm sure they do. Well, probably anyway. Point is, that mask doesn't belong to any king. No, that's right, as we all know, because we got over the true owner of that mask.
Take that!
Yes, there can't be no question. That mask belongs to Cosmos Logi. In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable. Only you can try to make that sound positive. Evidence was languished on this metal chest for several days. Let's explain what the gentleman is wearing it now. Now, simple matter to determine our guest's true identity. The gentleman's unconscious. Who could it be? What? Susnato's dad? I had no idea. Father. No, I think not, Mr. Sholmes. Here, our logic and reason is once again reveal the truth. Mysterious visitor. It's my unconscious father, Yuji Mikotoba. Logic and reasoning are just looking and yeah, that might have been a bit of an unnecessary line of thinking to take, but it's fine. One remaining imponderable. You, young Iris. Your apparent inexplicable silence isn't able to hide the truth. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed in the knapsack. 5-pound notebook out from Iris' knapsack. I can't be sure, but most likely we encountered a coin for it. Or we even have any bangles in Britain at all. Anyway, a father would have never paid money for Iris' silence. Seems like the silence time himself, though, just about as supposed to say. There must be some other reason why Iris' silence. What does she not wish?
Take that!
The metal chest. Next observation, something different. The lock is off. No, Hurley, don't. Mr. Sholmes. He's dead. Never. Oh, Hurley, I told you not to open it. You found your voice note, Iris. Ah. What just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Your reason for silence now is... Yes, let's see. What could she be hiding? Dun,
Take
dun,
that!
dun. This key for this metal trunk? Your reason for your knowledge until now is the key behind your back. Ah, what Mr. Schultz was thrown into the air before. What we call it the sound when you something out of your mouth. That's something. There's a key in your hands. The key to the chest. You're so clever, Runo. Becomes clear thanks to Mr. Schultz's graphic demonstration. Well, imagine what happened here, but First, Mikotoba also opened the chest by punching the air. And sprawl on the settee. There's explain all the facts. The size scarf, the cup of tea, the mask. I think there's only one extra to good. I don't believe miracles can place in this room. Isn't that right, Iris? The room was right before this whole pitiful experience took place. He took over this chest, we don't remember what was waiting inside him. Mask falling into the air, just happened to land in his face. The teacup started into the air, and nobody was caught in the unconscious professor's fingers. You mean to say the size scarf? But she just a tablecloth. This is the Green Detective's office. I played some miraculous deductions. Would you expect anything less? Yes, you're right. Yeah, it happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Runo. This was Runo looking at the great deduction of this punchy puzzle.
Objection!
Oh, snap. Admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance. Sholmes, if you would catch it, back to my earlier deduction. That's clearly you're hiding a great secret. Is? So I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. Oh, snap. Oh,
Take that!
snap. What is that, Iris? Why are you hiding a case file? As you know very well, nothing escapes. The attention of a great detective. Oh, no. Dr. Goforma said the autopsy report of Glenn Menzies gone missing. Glenn Menzies, I do recall. Some years ago, I asked for the important question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? You mean it was you, Iris? Those papers you have there are... I'm sorry. Oh, forgive me. Oh, Iris. In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the Bobby Sharp chest. Caught me completely off guard. I was nearly the late consultant detective Herlock Sholmes. I'm sorry, Hurley. You mean this autopsy report really is? Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I know it's very important. Something that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I've been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's. The writing? Your father's writing, what do you really mean? Iris? Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellow. Sholmes, what is it? I just feel as though the poor cottage should have been listed to tease, but someone forgotten. The father! I'll try to get somewhere more peaceful to rest. Miss Naruhodo, yes? Would you be so kind as to lay him in your bed? Lend him your bed? Mr. Very best make him comfortable, I feel. Oh, yeah, of course, I'll have to carry him up. So will I. No, I can manage a little thing. You have tea to enjoy. Come on, Iris and Bruin stew. Huh. Maybe Mr. Sholmes is making himself scared to go out a chance to talk more freely. Iris, what's going on here? Tell us about your father, Iris. Daddy used to be Hurley's partner. Go on. That's right, Hurley told me, you see? Daddy's somewhere far away, so we can't meet. That's one way of describing it. Then when I secretly unlocked the chest and read those papers, I started to build a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like. Natural? Yeah, you're like any other girl your age. The Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied to get my degree too. Well, that's only natural, I suppose. For a 10-year-old to have an advanced degree in medical science. In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl your age, though. One thing I can never find out. Daddy's name. His name wasn't anywhere on the notes that he made about his work with Hurley. One day, that's what happened, is it? You saw this autopsy report, you managed to work it out. Yes. The handwriting caught her eye. I saw the writing on the report, I could hardly believe it. It was handwriting, I thought to myself. You know the handwriting. It was the same writing as the father's case notes. Couldn't take the report. So I was hoping the first and last time we wouldn't be allowed to look at it. You decided to steal it. I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had. There's no doubt. Handwriting was the same. It was Daddy's. Signature in the corner at the bottom of the autopsy report read Dr. John H. Wilson. That's what I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last. See. There's a I've called myself Iris Wilson. That's when I also had the brilliant idea. Writing stories all about his exciting adventures in Hurley. I said there that I read the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Oh, Iris, I had no idea the stories could such deep personal significance for you. See what the autopsy report was so important to her now. Why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault. Hurley, I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret. I know. I'm very naughty. I the autopsy report back to Dr. Gory and apologize, I promise. Yes, we'll go together, I think. I'm gonna look after for you until we get there. Ooh. Ooh, important evidence. Must go and water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later. Poor Iris. You must be feeling awful. I'm just here, but still. What? Wow. What's the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Sholmes? You've noticed, I see, but that would mean... What on earth's the matter, Mrs. Otto? And why is a sheet? It's his autopsy report from 10 years ago. The writing isn't Dr. Wilson's at all. Huh? What do you mean? Because I know this writing very well. This writing is my father's. What? Rigo Toba's? Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows. Wait, but if the writing of the autopsy report is Mikotoba's, that can't be. Because then weren't the wait. Autopsy report was penned by me, Professor Mikotoba. How is that possible? Coroner was Dr. John H. Wilson. Stab, another special, no, let's see, not a duel. Scarlet ink stains. File evidence recorded. Signed by John H. Wilson. Oh, I guess it was not possible, my dear Philip. Pray take a deep breath. There was an assistant. Makes a great deal of sense. 10 years ago, when her father was in Great Britain, prior to his return, Dr. Mikotoba was at the Dr. Wilson's laboratory, which is at the freaking thing. The hospital, the coroner. He took the notes. The only writing Dr. Wilson's signature at the end, I see. After they run in the stick, she saw that he assumed the whole report was written by Dr. John H. Wilson. Understandable, of course. What a complicated situation. It was penned by Professor Mikotoba. But then, weren't the case files written? Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits. Herlock Sholmes written by case notes from your partner. What's fact and what's fiction? Troubling for you, I'm sure. What about the supposed partner? Does he really exist or not? Ah, you come straight to the point, I see. Please, come straight to the answer. I believe I was explaining one of her installments. He's a trusted comrade and the only person I could truly call a friend. But did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored in that metal chest? Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely. So, where's your partner now? We rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world. But if this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand, and if the autopsy report was written, though not signed, by your famous partner, there would be only one logical conclusion. Pray, impress me. Your partner would have to be Yuji Mikotoba. In other words, Miss Suzato's father. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo. You're coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasp the art of deduction. You mean to say. Allow me to introduce you. Oh my gosh. When I first saw this, I popped the frick off. It was sick. Professor Mikotoba? What does this mean? You're the real Dr. Wilson? No, my dear. I'm still my old self. Yuji Mikotoba, your father. Oh, of course. This is too much for Susato to take in. I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all. I remember the first time we met. Pray remind me. Where was it again, Mikotoba? 16 years ago, Sholmes. Yes, quite 16 years ago. I just arrived from Japan with Sessuru and Genshin. I was in search of lodgings close to the hospital. Some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. Rents are devilishly high in that particular area. That's right, so I decided I needed someone to share lodgings and the expense. I was fortunate enough to be introduced to Sholmes, who found himself in a similar situation. I was a Kylo fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. Looking at the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain. The situation of our cohabitation led us to pursuing cases together, you see? Hard to believe. It was a mere 6 years ago we had many great adventures. The last year, Mikotoba stayed in Britain. The most infamous of cases presented itself. The case with which you've become rather familiar yourselves, the Professor killings. After the trial, Sessuru and I were summoned back home. Hardly surprising given the circumstances. There you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded in my trusted chronicler remain in that metal chest. Amazing. Professor Mikotoba really is Mr. Sholmes' famous partner. Father, your goodness, my dear, what a cutting look. As your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now. And what that is? You know very well what it is. The unresolved matter of Iris' father. Of course. If her father penned the notes of those case files... I should have seen this coming, I suppose. Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in the metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sholmes? That is indeed what I told young Iris. If you're Mr. Sholmes' partner, father, then you roll all his case notes. Then Iris' father, it must be you. Ugh. On my word, Miss Susato. You're coming along. What? Your father grasps the art to talk to you. What? What you've always told me, father, is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago. You left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. I've always accepted that, but all this about Iris? Oh, Susato's eyes cold stare. No, hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think. Press to explain exactly what it is. Oh man, a Susato slam. You've got the run under the stick. Sholmes, say something, man. That's quite enough, my fiery fellows. Mr. Sholmes, when you get all dressed up. Also, don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past. Mikotoba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion. Very late, Mr. Sholmes. Where must you go? Why, my dear madam, is that not obvious? My partner, I must pursue our natural enemies. So get your coat, Mikotoba. The game is afoot! Oh? Later, my dear fellow. Wait, Susato can wait till later. Oh, this song is so cool. You haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really, I visit our home after 10 long years, and when I open that chest in a bit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably pass out. As that wasn't enough, when I eventually regain consciousness, I'm plunged straight into all this. Father, please. Go with Sholmes now. What? I've no doubt that whatever happened, you were acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you completely. Let's go! Susato. and sending the great detective and his great partner off on our renowned adventures together is more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams. Very well then, we'll speak again later. So, I believe your own work is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, Naruhodo. Good luck at battling and reaching a decision. Otherwise, I go back to Japan, I suppose. Insane.
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself. It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth, and that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
What a great song. What a great chapter. And now it is done. We are on the final chapter, the resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What is going to happen? You will just have to wait and find out next time on Great Ace 32. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry again that the episode was a little bit different, that I've lost the recording previously. I hope this makes up for it, taking the time to go back for it. Thank you guys for watching, and look forward to the conclusion. It will get uploaded very shortly. Bye.